So welcome everyone to our monthly Soul Power session with me, Louise Charman-James from Soul Signature. These free monthly calls with specific themes are aimed at supporting you to really feel confident to share your light here and to really follow your own soul path. I'm so passionate about that. I feel like we all have a unique energy to share, unique soul signature, and that, you know, when you hold yours back, you are denying everyone your light and the gifts that only you can bring. And all of that said, I know that it isn't always easy to do that here, and that we often, all of us, will share many of the same fears, doubts, and resistances. So we're going to do some work today on this theme of following your heart's desires. And thank you all for that, what you've shared already. That's very helpful for us to work together with that. And we will be working with the compassion key modality. I know some of you are familiar with that already. I'm a master compassion key practitioner. I really love this. It has been a very powerful modality for me, clearing my resistances to showing up and being seen in my light. And we'll also be doing I'll be offering some light language activations, and there'll be a chance for you to interact with me by the chat so we can work on anything that's arising for you. I don't know if you can hear in the background what my chickens are going off outside, so hopefully you can't hear that. All right, so let's begin with just a little bit of a grounding and a centering to bring ourselves fully present for this next hour together. And thank you again for bringing your presence together with me today. Okay, thanks. Listen, the chickens are very loud for me, but you're not hearing them. That's great. Okay, so taking a breath, just putting your feet on the floor, taking a breath into your heart, closing your eyes for a moment. And let's just take a breath into our heart. Our theme today is following our heart's desires. So let's take a moment to connect to that beautiful portal that is within you, that place where all of your light can focus through and be expressed into this lifetime. Your heart is a place where you hold so much of who you are, your unique soul signature, energy, that frequency of light that is used, held there at the base of the heart. And we allow, when we're willing, we allow our hearts to be what guides us. So many of us long to live a heart-centered life. So feel into what that feels like for you. What does that mean for you to be living from your heart, to be following your heart's desires? Take a moment to just connect with your heart energetically as a geometry of light, a matrix, an energetic structure that taps into all of you through all dimensions. It's not just you here right now in your life as you are now. There's so much of you that wants to be expressed and connected and expressed through that portal of the heart, the gateway of the heart. And then feel also, allow your heart to drop an anchor down into the earth and an anchor up into the heavens. And let yourself feel really held and supported in your earthly life, and also by your own teams of light, by all of those aspects of yourself and all of the masters and angels and beings that are also energies of love and light and want to support you, and that are aspects of you. And really feel that for a moment. Feel that there are parts of you, aspects of you that live fully in this heart-centered awareness, that know what that feels like. And trust that you know what that feels like, and that you wouldn't have a longing, you wouldn't experience a longing to live from your heart if you didn't already know what that felt like, right? So there's a remembrance here as well. Yeah. So just breathing into your heart, sensing that however you sense that. Some of us feel more, some of us are more visual. Just allowing yourself to feel that deep connection to your own heart. And what does your heart want to share with you this year as we start this new year? What's calling to you from your heart? How do you hear the voice of your heart? How do you feel the impulses of your heart? I'm just checking in with your heart right now. How does that feel? Do you feel a sense of contraction or heaviness, or do you feel an openness and excitement, and knowing too that that can shift in an instant? And so let's open our hearts to one another, feeling that heart flame within each of us. And as we come together and share this time together, do this work together, we're doing it from our hearts, and we're doing it for our hearts, and we're doing it for the heart of humanity as well. And I'm just going to bring forth a little bit of light language just to get us connected to our hearts for the call today. So just allowing yourself to stay in that heart-centered awareness, to breathe, to receive, to trust that the sounds that come through are supporting you, directed by your own higher self, for whatever you need right now to open your heart and live from that heart-centered awareness of self. Guarsan elevatar mo kore shale patore. Ini kasi pada no sobre mau quela aitine ki akakata na hochele marutse. Sinni le akar anole male che cerco samawe ki alatere te. Masat ima quala che cermo salto ip ane morketa wo ki chale. Sanaka iakach o de marukchor sin maure ine. Kala matane iwa kasai asha at anamorku subru koti. Yashana morka samarik te or ak achimno suba iakauri. Danne iakanse kota cerpo awakia. Deanana asaroki. Pa asuno chiro or makara de morkia par. Taking a breath. Just allowing that to land in your heart. And I want to begin today. Last time I unexpectedly had a channeled message from the family of light, which came through in response to the theme we had last week. So yesterday, the same thing happened and we had a message come through. So I'm going to share that message now. And I'd love you to listen and just respond and notice what arises for you as you listen to this message. And feel free to share in the chat, because this message is touching on I feel some of the things that I know I've felt myself around living from my heart and following my heart's dreams and desires. Why would your heart speak to you if you were meant to ignore it? Your heart is the seat of your unique soul signature, the essence of you. It is a portal to your multidimensional self and brings forth the fullness of your soul into this world. Your mind receives the messages of the heart, and its role is to serve the heart by translating those impulses and desires into action and supporting them to manifest. But all too often, your mind will argue with your heart or simply ignore it, allowing limiting beliefs to quash and override your heart's desires, declaring them unrealistic and impractical. But this is a learned response because others, parents, caregivers, teachers, and so on, have negated your heart's desires, and you have internalized those voices that deny your heart's call. The compass of your heart has love as its true north, and it wants to guide your feet to the way of love in all things. Yet you've been repeatedly told and shown that you cannot have what you love, and so you close the doors of your heart and ignore the voice that whispers within. Or if you have chosen to follow your heart in some matters, you may have paid a heavy price for that choice, by losing the love and approval of family members, friends, or partners, members of your tribe whose approval seems necessary to your continued survival. So flouting it can feel like a kind of death, and yet not following your heart is also a death of sorts. Human society has chosen to glorify mind over heart, reason over impulse. Yet, as one of your philosophers expressed so wisely, the heart has reasons that reason cannot know. Can you let your beautiful mind be in service to your wise heart? Can you find that voice that may have been silenced by reason and amplify it through your loving attention? When you learn to trust your heart again, to let it lead you, the rewards may be far beyond what your limited human mind can ever know or understand. The way of the heart may seem mysterious and even frightening to your ego mind that wants to keep you safe. But true safety is found in honoring the truth of yourself, where your strength and power truly reside. Those of you who ignore the promptings of the heart over many years may find that the physical organ of the heart becomes sick and diseased. Yes, you can break your own heart, but you can heal it too by giving it the gift of your loving attention and deep listening and allowing it to take up more space in your life. Can you place your trust in your heart this year? Breathe into it now and ask it to speak to you of what you truly desire. Put aside all thought of how and why and simply listen and listen and listen again until you're familiar once more with this deep prompting that wants to lead you into a deep and magnificent experience of yourself and your life. So there's more, but let's just pause for a moment and do that. And just take a moment to feel into what is your heart calling to you about this year? What are the desires in your heart? And don't edit them or judge them. Just listen and feel for the desires of your heart. I'll just take a minute to do that now in silence. You might even want to, if you have pen and paper to hand, just jot down a few of the words or images or feelings that are arising in your own heart. Okay, I'll continue with this channeled message. And when you listen deeply and allow your heart's desires to expand fully, you find that what you desire for yourself is ultimately a feeling, an experience of fulfillment or connection or liberation, and that your desire in its most expanded form is one that serves others as well as yourself. And this generates greater momentum and energy towards the manifestation of your desire. Yet the more your desire expands in this way, the more afraid of it you may be, and the more doubting of your worthiness to receive it or your power to create it. In truth, many of you dream too small. A big dream has energy to it that can sustain you through challenging times when a lesser dream would be abandoned. Let your imagination fly free when you tune into your heart's desires and watch for the tendency to deflect that arrow of desire with a sense of unworthiness or disbelief. There may be a fear too of who you would become were you to create your heart's desires. You may be unconsciously attached to your current identity and afraid of who you would be if you had what you desire. There is comfort and security in familiarity, even if you also desire change and expansion. Are you willing to trust that your heart can hold you as you become a fuller version of yourself? So be not faint of heart, be bold and strong of heart, and let others witness and be blessed by the joy and freedom that is possible when you follow the way of your blessed heart. We leave you with one last observation. The word courage is based on the word for heart. So it is in your heart that you will find the courage to follow your deepest desires and reap the rewards of that brave choice that will not lead you astray if you truly trust and honor it. Okay. So I'd love to hear your responses to that. Anything arising for you? Oh, you're already writing. Beautiful. Okay. Someone telling me the shit. Okay. Nancy, you're okay. Good. You can hear. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So just take a moment to respond to that. If you're just joining, I just shared a channeled message about following your heart and covering some topics that I do want to address today. For example, who would you be if you, bullseye says Chantal, who would you be if you had what you desire. I think this is a really important aspect of the resistance that shows up to our desires. Not dreaming big enough. I also find that this is something that we tend to do to ourselves. We tend to just restrict ourselves, pull back. Oh, that's not possible. I'm going to pull it back. But that bigger dream, when we have that bigger dream in our heart, that can sustain us, as I said in the message. All right. So let me know what's coming up for you. And I'm going to also go shortly into some clearing phrases based around what you shared when you registered for the call, because there were some great topics and themes and resistance came up there. So Alison said, that was beautiful, so powerful. My heart expressed gentle strength, calm power, patient, open, and peaceful. Beautiful. Chantel says, yes, broken heart be gone. Thank you for your service. Broken, fragmented, loved. Okay, so, letting go of a story of being broken, right? Knowing that our heart is whole, that even when it feels like we've broken our heart, it's not actually true, because it only takes that moment of reconnection and listening. Our heart is so forgiving, isn't it? So beautiful and compassionate and forgiving. Linda says, this resonates deeply. Lots of big dreams being limited by beliefs, right? Nancy, joy and ease, letting go of expectations of others. Yes. So if you're just joining, we are just responding to a channeled message. You have to go back and listen on the replay, and feeling into our hearts. What does your heart want to share with you this year, right? Just taking some time to listen. We just took a moment to tune in. What does your heart want to say to you right now? Might be some words, might be images. I had both of those. I had words, I had laughter was one of them, connection, right place, right time, things like that. That feeling of flow, to me, that's something that, when I feel into living from my heart and following my heart's desires, that's kind of the feeling. So that often it's what we really want, what we really desire is a feeling, an experience, more so than the actual specific thing. So I encourage all of you to really work with that. That can really be a powerful process to just keep stepping into the feeling and the experience of living from your heart and following your heart's desires. All right, so I'm going to go into some clearing phrases. I think most of you have done the compassion key with me before. If you haven't, we speak words of compassion to the parts of ourselves that are holding limiting beliefs and feelings, that have had experiences that feel limiting and that may still be influencing how we're living our lives now. So when we say these phrases and they begin with, I'm so sorry, you, generally we're speaking to ourselves. So when you say them aloud, it's very important you say them aloud. You're all on mute. You're going to be speaking to yourself, the part of yourself that is restricting your dreams, the part of yourself that is afraid what would happen, the part of yourself that maybe got told that you couldn't have what you want, right? So when we say the phrases, that's what you're doing. You're speaking from your whole higher heart self, your heart-centered self, to the parts of you, because there are only aspects of you, wounded aspects of you, that are holding these limiting beliefs, which are restricting your soul's light. And when we do that, when we meet them with compassion, these fears, these doubts, these experiences, it allows them to dissolve in the power of our loving presence, our loving attention, our loving compassion. So I'm going to lead you in some phrases, but I also want to use I love using a diagnostic phrase, which is a way to kind of check in with what's going on with you now. And the phrase I want to use today is, it's safe to follow my heart's desires now. So I'm going to write that in the chat. It's safe to follow my heart's desires now. Okay, so what I'd love you to do is to say that out loud. You're all on mute. If you're listening on the replay, do this with us. It's safe to follow my heart's desires now. And just notice what arises for you. What comes up? Do you notice a sensation in your body? Do you notice a voice come up, thoughts, feelings, right? What do you notice? And also feel into how true is that for you? If 10 out of 10 was totally true, no doubt at all, then that would be a 10. If it doesn't feel true for you, it could be as low as a 1. And it's probably for most of you going to be somewhere in between. So it's safe to follow my heart's desires now. Close your eyes, say that out loud, feel into your body, and just feel, what's the number for you? How true is that really for you right now? We're just doing like a pulse check right now, how that feels for you. And so please share in the chat. Got a 6, beautiful. And share also anything that comes up for you. What are you noticing? Are you noticing a voice of resistance? Are you noticing a feeling that, well, that would be nice, but right? 6s and 7s and 6s. Beautiful. Okay, an 8. Lovely. So some of us that feel safest, 3. Okay, but now it was a 3. It feels like a 7 because of the process, right? Okay, 100%. What I notice is, where is all the money going to come from to follow through? Okay, so interesting. So it might feel safe, but for you, then there may be a resistance around the how, right? Okay, yeah, it's safe. I can do this. I can step. So I'm using it's safe because for most of us, that's where the issue is, where it doesn't feel safe. So it could be for you, maybe it's possible for me to share, to follow my heart's desires now. Okay, so just noticing the resistances, the what do I need? How's it going to work, right? All of that can come up. Okay. All right, let's start with some phrases. I'm going to share these phrases. These are based on what people have shared already in response to the theme today. Please feel free to share in the chat as we go through. Isabella says the same. Where will the money come from? Okay, interesting, right? So money, support. Money is often really represents love as well, love and support in our life. So if we don't feel trusting around that, it's because we don't trust love to support us, right? So it's all that energy of love. So feeling into that. So I'll do the phrases, and please share as we go through the phrases, anything else coming up for you, and I'll add that in. So I'm gonna say the phrase out loud. You're gonna say it out loud. I'm gonna leave a space for you to say it out loud yourself. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Deep breath into your heart and solar plexus, saying the phrases out loud after me. I'm so sorry you couldn't stay on your true trajectory. I'm so sorry you couldn't stay centered in your heart. I'm so sorry you got distracted from your heart's desires. I'm so sorry you learned to negate your heart's desires. I'm so sorry you stopped listening to your heart. I'm so sorry following your desires in reality is harder than following them in your dreams. I'm so sorry doubt pulls you away from your heart's desires. I'm so sorry your efforts are inconsistent. I'm so sorry you can't make progress. I'm so sorry you're stuck where you are. I'm so sorry you feel like you're not evolving. I'm so sorry low self-esteem prevents you from moving forward. I'm so sorry you feel restricted by others. I'm so sorry you feel controlled by others. I'm so sorry you have to fulfill other people's desires rather than your own. I'm so sorry you don't know if your heart's desires will be received by others. I'm so sorry you're afraid to step out on your own. I'm so sorry you get stuck in work you don't enjoy. I'm so sorry you don't earn the money you'd like to earn. I'm so sorry you don't know where the money will come from. I'm so sorry you encounter more no's than yeses. I'm so sorry it's hard to stay resilient and committed. I'm so sorry it feels like hard work. I'm so sorry you don't always have the stamina to keep going. I'm so sorry you feel like you have an invisible tether holding you back. I'm so sorry you feel like you're treading water. I'm so sorry you take one step forward and two steps back. I'm so sorry hidden patterns are keeping you from moving forward. All right, so take a deep breath. So those phrases are more around a situation, okay? And we're going to do some more around the impacts and the feelings of that you all shared with me. But if there's anything else you want to share right now, what came up for you, if any of those phrases really struck for you, feel free to share that in the chat. And we'll go into another round of clearing, and then we're going to try the phrase again. So thank you. Keep sharing as things arise for you. All right, let's move into the impact and the feelings of that. Okay, so another deep breath again into your heart and solar plexus, saying the phrases out loud after me. Okay, Alison says being stuck was a hard one and not evolving. Yeah, right. So these feelings, sometimes we can feel that we're not moving forward. Right? Okay, so more compassion. Nancy says the phrase that impacted was fulfill other people's desires rather than my own. Yeah. So you can do more work on this yourself. It's good to make notes as we go through, and even do work specifically around, it could be around a specific person that you feel is restricting you, right? It's not really true that others are, restricting us, but it's the part of us believes that, right? And often that can be a beautiful trigger for greater empowerment to work with that. Okay, which part of me really feels, I was going to share, I forgot at the beginning, a story of, I remember when I was about 10 and having some birthday money and wanting to go and spend it. And my twin sister and I, we wanted to buy these beautiful rainbow cheesecloth tops, like beautiful in the 70s. And my mother persuaded me to buy this boring brown jumper, this practical choice. And, I remember that because it was a moment when I thought or took on the belief that I couldn't have what I wanted and that I had to make practical choices instead of choices from my heart, and that I needed permission that someone else could override my choices, right? You can see how just a small incident like that can just take on all of these beliefs, and then you live out of those. So there might be something coming up for you. It might be a moment for you where you had that experience of, oh, I'm not allowed to have what I want. Oh, okay, that's not good. What my heart wants isn't a good choice, right? So I took on that belief, okay, and then have, of course, come around and learn to follow my heart. So, all right, let's go into the impact and feelings. Let's share. Yes, many, says Isabella. Yeah, right. I know, all these poor little children didn't get to have what they wanted. So anyway, we get to parent ourselves back into our own power and following our hearts right now. Okay, let's do some more on the impact and feelings of that. So lots of no's in my life. Yeah. I remember I got so used to my mother saying no that I just didn't ask anymore. So, I'm so sorry you stopped asking for what you wanted. Right? Okay, impacts and feelings. Let's do some phrases around that. Again, okay, deep breath into your heart and solar plexus, saying the phrase out loud. I'm so sorry when you don't follow your heart's desires, you become miserable and depressed. I'm so sorry you feel lost and lonely. I'm so sorry you're emotionally exhausted. I'm so sorry you have dark thoughts. I'm so sorry you're sad. I'm so sorry you feel unhappy and unfulfilled. I'm so sorry you feel useless and small. I'm so sorry you feel stagnant and dissatisfied. I'm so sorry you feel hopeless and resigned. I'm so sorry you become obsessed with your demons without learning from them. I'm so sorry you get stuck in a loop of destructive self-judgment. I'm so sorry you drift further from self and into a lower frequency. So just taking a breath and remembering as we say this phrase, is this isn't the truth of who we are. This is a part of us that's had that experience, that feels all of these feelings. And as we presence them and offer our compassion, we get to release those, right? Abandoning the self. Yeah, I'm so sorry you abandoned yourself. Yeah. I think this is something that was really big for me, was this sense of having dishonored myself by following what other people wanted for me, by not listening to my heart, by constantly denying what I wanted. And, you know, I certainly had to get away from my home environment and family and tribe in order to start really tuning into that. So that could well be the same for you. So part of this too is, you know, do you create every day a space and time for yourself so that you can make that heart connection, so that you are free of the influences of others and you can come back to that true north, as it said in the channeling, right? That love is your true north, that compass of your heart is always finding love. Like, where's the love, right? Where is the love in my life? Where is the love within me? What is it that draws me, right? So feeling into that. So remembering as we say these phrases, even though they feel heavy to say them, right? We are dissolving them. We're letting go of that feeling that the aspects of self have. Okay. So again, share if there's any other things coming up for you, feelings there. I'm just going to do one more round and then we're going to try the phrase again that we did at the beginning, and we'll do some more clearing around whatever's arising for you. And then we'll go into an activation at the end. Okay. So some more statements. Deep breath into heart and solar plexus. I'm so sorry you have to work hard to follow your heart's desires. I'm so sorry it's not easy to follow your heart's desires. I'm so sorry you have the desires, but not the means to fulfill them. I'm so sorry you don't have the support and resources you need. I'm so sorry the path of the heart is full of obstacles. I'm so sorry the path of the heart seems narrow and hard. I'm so sorry you lack faith in yourself and the path of your heart. I'm so sorry you think the dreams of your heart are too big. I'm so sorry you think the dreams of your heart are unrealistic. I'm so sorry dreams can't instantly become reality. I'm so sorry there are consequences for following your heart. I'm so sorry others trample on the dreams of your heart. I'm so sorry they mock the dreams of your heart. I'm so sorry you disappoint yourself before they can disappoint you again. Okay, taking a breath. Let's do a little check-in on our phrase. It's safe to follow my heart's desires now. It's safe to follow my heart's desires now. And just notice if anything's shifted. Your number may go up or it may go down. Sometimes we uncover deeper resistances when we start giving ourselves compassion for what we feel. Just try that again. It's safe to follow my heart's desires now. And then just share again in the chat if you noticed any shifts, if you notice any new things arising. Share your number if your number's changed. It's safe to follow my heart's desires now. Just give you a moment to tune into that. Just noticing if any of those phrases really struck home for you. Beautiful, gone up to a 7. Lovely, it's gone up a little bit, that's great. But it's okay too if your number goes down, because sometimes as we presence the first layer of resistance, we actually find, wow, there's more underneath it. Wow, I didn't realize that I was waiting for permission. Wow, I didn't realize that that I'd shrunk my dreams. And I notice this in myself sometimes. It's like, but I really this morning was feeling into, you know, if you could express what you want really in the biggest way you could, like the biggest dream that you had, can you feel, I could feel myself how the energy of that is so sustaining, so sustaining. Sharing a feeling of needing to always hustle. Yeah, right. My heart's desires being unrealistic. My mother came up shutting my dreams down because it was too out there. Right. Yeah. So, you know, these caregivers who, you know, they're wanting to take care of us. They want us to be practical and realistic. But of course, then we end up following a path perhaps that just doesn't light us up. And it's all comes from, you know, wanting to care for us, but it comes from that ego mind, that security, that, you know, and it's such a common thing with healers, with artists. You know, you can't make money from your music. You can't make money from healing. Often we get these projections. And so we don't follow our own path. So, all right, beautiful. Just go back a little bit. Okay. Lovely. Okay. It feels cleaner. The one that freed my little girls. I'm so sorry. Others trampled, mocked, destroyed the dreams of your heart. Yeah. What is the difference between I'm so sorry you believe you're stuck and the I'm so sorry you feel like you're stuck? They're all different aspects, and it's good to play with this. You can say, I'm so sorry you're stuck, right? That's a direct expression or description of how that part of you feels. But then sometimes bringing in, I'm so sorry you feel that you're stuck. I'm so sorry you believe that you're stuck. Oh, it starts, that part of you starts to go, maybe it's just a belief. Maybe I'm not really stuck, right? What we're doing here is kind of prodding at the paradigm you've created for yourself, right? So I'm so sorry you believe you're stuck. We're now bringing in, maybe I'm not, but I'm so sorry you're stuck. For that part of you who feels that, that's the truth. So often just giving compassion for, I'm so sorry you're stuck. I'm so sorry you're trapped. I'm so sorry you can't have what you want, right? That's that naming of that's the situation. Then we can start to go, but you know, maybe it's just a belief. I'm so sorry you believe you're stuck, right? The feeling, we're naming the feeling with compassion, right? So often I'll get visual images when I'm doing compassion piece. So it might be like, so for example, when you say, so sorry you're stuck, right? I can see someone stuck in the mud, right? Stuck in quicksand, stuck in a swamp, right? But then when you say, I'm so sorry you believe you're stuck, there's that possibility, oh, I can see the image start to shift. Oh, I can lift my body out. I can reach to the bank. Right. So we have such a visual mind that this can be a really powerful way to work with yourself. So if you tune into how do I feel right now about following my heart's desires, there may well be an image for that, or a feeling like you actually feel a weight, or as someone described, a feeling of an invisible cord pulling you back. So this can be really powerful to work with this, right? I'm so sorry, there's an invisible cord pulling you back, right? As soon as we name it and we see it, now it's in our awareness. Now we're like, oh, right, how could I cut that cord? Oh no, when I go and cut the cord, something else comes up, right? So this is all great information for working with your own consciousness, right? And just pulling out these little strands of energy that have just got caught up, right? A part of you went, I'm stuck. And that energy gets stuck there. So when we're working with this compassion key, we're clearing that, right? We're naming it, bringing it into our presence, bringing it into our awareness. Okay. All right. So I just want to do a couple more phrases around what arose from the channeling around the feeling of that the dream's not big enough, right? That we're not allowed to dream big dreams. Okay. So let's do some phrases around that, and feel free to share what comes up for you around that. Like if you had a bigger dream, thanks, Louise. Thanks, Lee, for that message. If you had a bigger dream, right? Oh, Isabel, I love that. Go between giddiness and shame. Yes. Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, it's so exciting. This heart dream I'm going to follow. And like, oh, who am I to have this dream, right? It's not okay for me to have this big dream. Okay, so share with me what else comes up for you. This tall poppy thing. This was something that came up for me at school, being a bright child and then being judged for doing well, right? That it wasn't right. So big, says Chantal. Play small. Okay. All right, let's do some phrases around this. Keep sharing. So it's really great stuff. Okay. All right, everyone's nodding. Okay. All right. I'm so sorry you go from excitement to shame. I'm so sorry you're ashamed of having big dreams. I'm so sorry they judge you for having big dreams. I'm so sorry people who play big get cut down. I'm so sorry it's safer to play small. I'm so sorry if you share your dreams, they shoot them down in flames. I'm so sorry you're constantly expanding and contracting. I'm so sorry you can't consistently expand. I'm so sorry you keep shrinking your dreams. I'm so sorry you won't let the dream fly. I'm so sorry you're afraid if you let the dream fly, people will be left behind. I'm so sorry a big dream might have big consequences. I'm so sorry the bigger your dream is, the harder it is to control it. I'm so sorry the bigger your dream is, the more unwanted attention it will attract. I'm so sorry if you play big, you might have to fight big. I'm so sorry you think you're a small person with a big dream. I'm so sorry you forgot that everyone has the same opportunity to dream. I'm so sorry it takes courage to have a big dream. I'm so sorry you let them limit you. I'm so sorry you kill your dreams before others can kill them. I'm so sorry you don't have the right people to dream big with you. I'm so sorry you think you have to do it alone. I'm so sorry you're afraid of who you will become if you dream big. I'm so sorry there's no turning back once you come out of hiding. I'm so sorry you feel your power will threaten others. I'm so sorry other people are scared of your dreams. I'm so sorry you're scared of your dreams. All right, let's all take a breath. Feel a lot of energy with all of those. Yeah, dreaming bigger. All right, so feel free to share anything coming up. I could see some of you nodding as we were going through some of those. So yeah, this fear that our dream is too big, that others won't like it, that will disrupt everything. But are we not here to disrupt everything? Right? And when we feel into that, what is it that you're tolerating that you'd like to change? Wow, this is about the big dream, the big consequences. So let's really feel into that, right? The big consequences, like what might happen. I think it's really good to do this, to put yourself in the place of, if I had what I say I want, what I think I desire, what I feel like, if I really had that, what would that feel like? What would be, right? Because this is why we constantly contract. We put out the dream and then we follow that quickly by, but it's dangerous, I'm not worthy, people won't like me, but right, that's all of that goes straight after, and it just pulls that dream right back. Okay, right, letting them limit you. It says, got to let that one go. Yeah, big consequences, unwanted attention, kill them before they do it. Yeah, learning to receive support when you've been betrayed in the past. Yeah, okay, that's a good one too. All right, so let's maybe just do a couple of statements around that as well. Okay, all right. I'm so sorry they betrayed you. I'm so sorry you're afraid to receive support. I'm so sorry you don't know who you can trust with your dreams. I'm so sorry it's not safe to share your dreams. I'm so sorry if you don't share them, you can't get the support you need. I'm so sorry you have one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. Okay. All right, another big breath. Let's try the phrase again. It's safe for me to follow my heart's desires now. It's safe to follow my heart's desires now. And if that feels congruent for you, a beautiful thing to do is to change that into a gratitude phrase. I'm grateful that I can follow my heart's desires now, right? I'm grateful that I can follow my heart's desires now, right? There's a power to that, isn't there, right? We're pulling that power back into ourselves. Okay, Alice, does I feel so much better saying this now? Great. Yeah. So we get a little more congruent with this as we work with the resistances. Okay. It might not be at a 10 yet, but that's okay, right? We can keep working with that, keep noticing what's coming up for me, what's really coming up for me. And when you, in your life, as you make these choices, because these are like moment by moment choices, they're not necessarily, one big choice. They're a day-to-day alignment with yourself, with your trajectory. Beautiful. Isabella says, feels better, big breath out. Yeah, big exhale. Okay, right. Letting go of that contraction. Okay. All right, so I encourage all of you to keep looking at this. So whenever you get that moment when, okay, I'm checking in with my heart, firstly, to check in with your heart when you make any choice, is this really aligned with my heart? And to be willing to let things go, right? Sometimes, and here we are at the beginning of a new year, sometimes because you've been doing something, as I said in the channeling, like there can be a familiarity and a security, but there's also a stagnation there as well, isn't there? Okay, beautiful. 7, it's my perspective that's changing. Yes, and it is all just perspective, right? Isn't it? It's all just perspective. Okay, so I encourage you to work with that phrase, I'm grateful that I can follow my heart's desires now. You might want to create a beautiful phrase of your own. I'm grateful that my heart's desires manifest with ease and grace now, right? And if there's resistance, do some more work with that. All right, so I want to complete today with a little activation, again, a light language activation. And also wanted to share, I just came across this morning this quote from Abraham Hicks, which said, I understand that the only work I need to do is to come into alignment with the expanded being that I am. So it's not that there actually is a lot to do, even though there are aligned actions. But the only work I really need to do is to come into alignment with the expanded being that I am. So that's really about allowing ourselves to be in our heart, tapping in every day, tuning into, I am this extraordinary multidimensional being. I'm a being of love and light, right? I'm here to play and explore and express the light that I am. And the way that I know how to do that is because I listen to my heart, right? And I trust in that power of my heart. Okay, so let's really feel into that as we wrap up the call today. I'm going to bring through another activation that's really called for that activation for us to find that excitement, that giddiness that Isabella talked about, that excitement, and then let it be okay to live in excitement, right? To live in joy, to live in freedom, to live in that just delight. I love the word delight, right? It makes me think like of the light, delight, to live in that delight of following your heart and sharing your heart, because so many people out there, and we're really, the work that we do together is supportive for the collective. So many people out there are just holding themselves back, negating themselves, denying themselves, feeling restricted, right? But you're hearing the call. Okay, so let's really activate that for all of us, all of humanity, that we have that excitement of being here and getting to share our love and share our heart, because ultimately your heart's desire is not going to be to cause harm to others. It's just not. I know that all of you here, yeah, in alignment and flow and love, yes, right? And when we feel that love for what we're creating and who we're being in the world, right, it just brings forward all of this energy and this momentum. So that's the place to create from, is to find that love. So connecting with your hearts now. Let's call record some beautiful frequencies of sound and light to support us now, that really anchor us into that excitement of living from our hearts, following our heart's desires, trusting that all resources and support is always available for us because it's coming from us. It's just a reflection of our beautiful hearts and all of that light that wants to flow through us and create in the world. Just taking a breath and opening your heart to receive. Nasibara ke toch ali ba nomor sobari ke wale ide morotale che da samo ke bare baru am ai ki pasaro che nala kuatiri tassame ke ureche ma wak I pasaro ne chila al mo sebere ke nora pare tori ne sebara ke chano ki iana ala ko tamashe bro amwak eteri para sono bichar e akabar ke tano ol ate sata chemano ko tamana sebara ala kuene ieta lasane ko cheli bare kano desi mara ko tamashe kala ala ko tamashi bro anaya ki ataso ile ra no samo kian jale bo samo ki pasa baridi la sobre chimona at I ke masore beji la sobre samo awaki te in masore ke chale takasano e abatomora ki pa achi alati masore ki mo at im arsote che alakanor e makate in. Deep breath in. And a message there really about that, just find the joy, find the excitement even in the smallest thing, because even if your dream seems so big, right, there's always a part of it that you can get excited about now, that you can find the joy in. So if you notice yourself going into overwhelm, oh, it's too big, that's too much, right, just to find, but what's this small part that I can be excited about? It was showing me like just little, like dust motes of sunlight, little particles, right? There's always a little part of that you can get really excited about right now, right? And so find what that is, because that sets you on that next path. It's always that in the now moment. What's the joyful choice right now? And even for something that might feel like an onerous task, when you find the joy in that and you tap back into that excitement and that love for what it is you're creating, then it makes it easy then to take that next step, right? Because you've got all that energy of your heart. And anything you're creating, like, we want to bring it in alignment with our heart. Often we'll have these ideas, we'll have these inspirations, but they need to be aligned with the heart, right? And they need to have bring that heart's desire. Sometimes the mind thinks it wants something, but you need to check in with the heart. Really, is that really what my heart desires? And trusting that our hearts can always find like the best way, right? When we follow the joy, follow the excitement, follow these energetic frequencies that are so expansive, it just brings everything in, right? So notice that for yourselves. Notice, oh, I'm getting in a little bit into my mind. I'm getting into the how, I'm getting into the what, I'm getting it right. I'm limiting it. So notice, oh, I did that thing again. Oh, I did that thing again. I went big and then I pulled myself back. Just notice. And so practice being in the energy of excitement and expansion and love, not even necessarily knowing what the next step is. Get into that and then all will be revealed. Beautiful. Okay, thank you. Okay, the key to open humanity's heart. Lovely. Please share anything else that came up for you as we wrap up today. Keep working with your gratitude, your excitement. Love it. Thanks, Isabel. Beautiful. Thank you all for being live today. It goes so quickly, the hour, doesn't it? So I'll be back again next month. And thanks to all of you that shared and voted on some themes. My heart feels softer. Thanks, Alison. I feel excited and energized. It's lovely. And I think just to have all of us together, knowing that we all want to do this, we want to follow our hearts and create from our hearts. Thanks, Christine. Beautiful to have you here. So I'll be offering another call next month. I'll email out a replay. If you want to connect with me one-to-one and just tune into a little bit more, I'll send a link out as well so you can book a call with me and just tune in a little bit more to what you want to create this year. An exciting year, so Chantal, yes. And thank you. I feel calmer, Isabella. Yes, I feel excited. I feel we're on the up, right? So to not worry about the details. And I've really come to this place. Trust that your heart and your higher self is guiding you forward, that it's all expanding and transforming. And so you can relax. You can just relax. Just relax into it, right? Relax into it. Trust. Yeah. Trust your beautiful hearts. All right. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day or evening, wherever you are. And I look forward to connecting again really soon. Lots of love. Namaste.